They want to raise your kids. Give me a break, right? First they raised your taxes, and now they want to raise your kids. Who in Michigan's going to stand up to this atrocious behavior? Good to hear. I know that most of you are already aware that we're going to be passing out literature through the wonderful Mike Saxon down there, Dads and Moms of Michigan. We're going to inform our legislator that enough is enough. House Joint Resolution NN needs to pass. Right now, 80 of 110 representatives support House Joint Resolution NN, but it's still being denied a vote in violation of our Constitution. But enough about that. It's time to hear the other side. Who's being affected? A child's perspective, an adult survivor's perspective of divorce and parental alienation. With us next is Chrissy Chrzanowski from New Jersey, representing the Lee Paz Foundation. Chrissy Chrzanowski.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here in the state of Michigan, coming all the way from New Jersey. I'm not as good as everybody else. I had to prepare something, but I'll read it off. Most children view their life as one filled with love and safety from their parents. My home was not filled with this warming feeling, but one of a cold and a harsh reality. As a child, I was faced with a future of twisted morals and believing my mom was the enemy. My dad was a man filled with anger and rage that on a constant basis did many horrific acts to me and as well as my mom. During this period in my life, I was a lost and confused girl. My life was centered on the feelings of my father. I was on a regular basis told how my mom did not want me, that I was a mistake, and how I was the one thing that ruined her life. He would fill my head with lies to destroy my bond with my mother. Being in this constant turmoil, trusting the belief of my father, I saw through his eyes a woman who I did not want to be like or have as a mother. I was his soldier in training for one of the biggest battles in my life, parental alienation. I no longer had the power to be my own individual person. The vision I had to love both parents was shattered. The time came when my mom could no longer live with this man, and by the time this step came, my mind was tainted and the battle for the children was in full force. The roles had changed very fast, and I was engulfed with fierce anger and rage towards my mother. With the help of suggestions on how my mom was a whore, an adulterer, the word abandonment came into play quite often. The lies were a continuing part of my life. I was now the queen of my home, and I played the role of wife, daughter, and mother. I did everything in my power to make Dad happy and destroy my mother. My main mission was to have her suffer for who I thought she was, not who she was. Most daughters and mothers go shopping. Instead, I thought about her dying and having a party and rejoice. I only wanted to achieve the love and respect of my dad, and I did whatever was presented before me to be in his world. I saw him as the victim in all of this. I dried his tears and picked him up when he was broken. I felt I was the only person to keep him together and hold the rest of us, including my brothers, together. I was almost proud of this position, and I was put into it. I was powerful in the thought of finally being loved, but in order to do this, I had to lose a piece of who I was. Eventually, my dad had no use for me in this plot of destruction. I had conquered my brothers for his victory. I planted the seeds of a painful harvest that would grow for years within my soul. I still longed for him and lived with my mom. I blamed her for all of the pain and still did not acknowledge a relationship with her. My pain was fierce and fueled by anger that was planted in my soul. I would do the opposite of everything that she had said to me. She was my personal Hitler in my mind. I would not bow down to her issues, and I set out to take every ounce of strength she had away. I would go blow to blow with her in fights, and on a few occasions, my fist would strike her in the heat of a moment. When she told me she loved me, it was like nails on a chalkboard. I believed she was a fake and a weak woman. When she did stand her ground, I didn't think she deserved the right to do so in my life. I was alone, and nothing would break me. I became addicted to drugs, became numb to the pain that haunted me. I went down a path of self-destruction and a black hole of hate. I ran off and married and was pregnant at the age of 16 to try and feel some kind of love. During this chapter in my life, I wanted to be a part of my mom's life, and after years finally came to the conclusion that maybe she wasn't the monster that I was led to believe. I revisited the memories that I suppressed of her in a faraway time and place. the day I fully came to terms with my mom, which I was struck with the guilt of what I had done to her. A pain I hadn't felt before had come down on me. I took the voyage back to her one afternoon in my car. I wanted every excuse in the world to turn around. I prayed she would not be home. I wondered if the door would be slammed back in my face. In the end, it was a new birth for us. She is now my hero and my best friend, but most importantly, she is my mother. I now have no relationship with my dad, and I do not long to either. Now that I'm older, I look back and I feel that I played a part in some type of play, where I just listened to the director for prompts to play the character that they wanted me to be. And to this day, I carry the burden of the pain. I feel as if it would be with me forever and constant. A child that goes through these situations, like myself, deal with pain, deal with depression, guilt, thinking for ourselves. We can't make decisions, and even suicide in an easy way out. I ask the people that are here today, what are you going to do to make a difference in these children's lives? Now I want to share what most people do not know about me. I speak out about this painful experience, but the fact of the matter is that I have 2 beautiful children, and I am now going to be a non-custodial mother. History in my life has repeated itself. My children and many others are denied the right to love both parents. The destruction I fight against has now been thrown back in my life, except now my role is mother and not daughter. This is what the families in America are coming to. These children are falling in a cult-like following called parental alienation. I'm the outcome of a broken system, and now I fall under a statistic of a child without both parents. I hear courts state that there is no alienation, but the courts help to alienate children from their parents. I told you this story to give you an understanding of why we need House Joint Resolution NN. As parents, we have the fundamental right to parent our children. I have lived this life as a child and now as a mother. From what I've seen, this could have been prevented in my life a long time ago. The courts ignored the facts and turned their heads to the truth in the case. I often ask why, and with the knowledge I have now, I can answer that question. Money. This bill can take it out of the court's hands and allow both parents to have access to their children before they become a statistic of a crime or even death. Our society is growing with children who are broken and trying to find a place in this world. I was lucky, but your children might not be. We never thought this could happen to us as parents. If you're married, you can go home tonight and see a divorce or separation coming, and before long, your children can become a number in the system for money. This bill needs to become an immediate issue to take these family law judicials and have them refrain from making rules for their own benefit. We have laws that are in effect and that are being ignored. The rights of parents have been lost within the system. It is profitable for the system to have broken families. The courts gain from families' pain, and in return, these children later on become a part of the system. It is now time to fix what is broken. That would be the system. They have tied our hands for years, and now it's time for the quote to ring true: what is in the best interest of the child? The leaders standing before us today can make a difference in the lives of the children we all represent here today. Parental rights need to be respected and protected by all. I just want to say, like I said in my last speech, that it is time to bring our children home. I am a statistic. I am living proof that there's parental alienation. I'm now living proof as a non-custodial mother. When is it time for these people to wake up, to save our children, to bring them home, to be a part of their lives? Children need both of their parents. I needed my father as a role model. I needed my mother as a role model. I'm here and I will go everywhere that needs to be to get this addressed to whoever it needs to be addressed to, because I don't want to see all of your children turn out like me. I don't want to see the system control who they are and who they're going to be. So I'm thankful to be in the wonderful state of Michigan today, and you can find me at the LeapPausFoundation.org and of course on YouTube. And I thank you all and have a great day.
Thank you, Chrissy Chrzanowski. Powerful, compelling. These are the stories that our legislators need to hear over and over again, because it's the people and the people's children that are being